This video, man. What about this video? This video was brought to you by a big old bottle of SHOJ Merlot wine, the vino, because that's what we know. I was working the bar up on the terrace at the resort, right? And there was this couple from older couple from like Iowa, Mudvayne shit. And they were drinking, sitting out there, and I was making them drinks and shit, and they were leaving the next day. And they called me over, and they're like, hey, yo, Mario Lopez looking motherfucker. Yo, AC Slater. Walk on over here. I said, sure, why not? Did I have a choice? No. Did I do it? No. Yes. The gal's like, hey, we got a flight back home tomorrow. We got these bottles of wine. We don't really know what to do with them. I was like, well, you drink them. I mean, you open it first and then you drink it, right? You open it like I'm doing now and you drink it. I was like, no, it's not gonna work, We got a flight home tomorrow. We're already a couple sheets to the wind. It was like, I don't know, 7:30, and they're old. So it's like bedtime. Like an hour passed. Like, nah, we're 2 sheets to the wind, maybe 3. Like we're tapped out. Mario. I was like, they informed me that it would have costed them. Costed is definitely not a word. It would have cost them like an extra, like $40. I don't know, whatever fee to bring the bottle of wine onto the flight because of the weight. Like an extra whatever money. They're like, that's not worth it, right? Take this home. Or give it to, they pointed out a couple that was a little further down the way. They're like, give it to those people, right? They're like, fuck it. Take it home. I was like, man, that's cool, I'll figure out something to do with it. I was like, yo, my mom likes wine. She don't drink a lot, but my mom likes wine. And I'm talking quiet because my nephew's like right on the side of the wall sleeping with the dog. I was like, I'll figure out something to do with it. I'll give it to my mom. I lied to him. I'm not going to give it to my mom. Right now, I am my mom. I'm drinking it right now. I'll figure out something to do with it. Don't worry. They gave me this one and another one sitting on the shelf. I was like, that was cool. So I took it. And, can you hear me? I can hear me. Would you do me? I'd do me. And so, that's what I'm drinking. Did I give it to my mom? No, I just fucking popped it right now. I'll fucking drink it. I like wine, don't I? Like, I like to drink. Like let's not fool ourselves, right? You got like whiskey connoisseurs, right? They like to smell it. It's got a good nose on it. It's got a good nose on it. Like, I like a girl with a good ass on it. It's got a pungent, like, oaky. There's a hint of whatever the fuck whiskey's got a hint of. Like, I like whiskey, but like I'm not that into it. Cheers, by the way. That's good shit. I'm not like that into it. Like let's be real. Like it's none of it really tasted that good. It's like we drink it for the return on the investment, right? You let it flow down the throat, you let it burn a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't burn that much. And it makes you feel nice. Unless you don't like to drink, then it makes you feel like shit. But, I mean, let's keep it a stack. Would anybody drink whiskey or any other alcohol for that matter if it didn't taste good? Or no, if it didn't feel good? You know? I don't think so. So you say, yo, tsunami. Like people drink non-alcoholic beer. Beck's. What's the other one? St. Pauli Girl? Or like other shit. It's like, these people, I feel like more often than not, if you're drinking an alcoholic beer, a non-alcoholic beer, it's because you were an alcoholic or are an alcoholic. Because it's alcoholism, not alcoholism. Other than that, in AA, nobody would drink. But it's like you're drinking a non-alcoholic beer because you want to drink. You like the beer. Beer's a little different because it's not as harsh. There's no point in what I'm saying. I just say shit. What I really wanted to make this video about was my friend Derek, who's gone forever. You know, I'm driving home from work. My favorite band is Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, Avenged Sevenfold, that's cool. Like they're on the radio and what other knocks do you have against Avenged? I can't think of any. They're super popular. They're like, they toe the line between, they're not a metal band, but like they drop D, they got double kick, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you say bad about these cats? Like, they're fucking amazing. Now, I'll say, live, trash. Dude, like, whenever I've seen them, I was drunk. Have I seen them sober? I don't think so. It doesn't matter, though, because it's like they're my favorite band, and I'm here for it. Music, I'll tear. Like, there's not really that many reasons. I could say, like, I don't cry. Like, I don't have that many reasons to cry. But how many reasons do people have to cry? Like, not a whole lot. But, like, music will make me tear up. Like, when I'm watching, like, a band that I really like, and they're playing, especially if they're playing a song that I'm like, lives in my DNA, like, I'm like, yo, I'm here right now. Like, all those songs that I heard in the basement, or in the headphones that I jam to, or like driving to and listening to, like these songs that I'm hearing, like the people that created them, they're right in front of me. They're nowhere else in the world but here for me. I could say for us, but like us is the collective. Like I'm part of us. I'm a fan. They're here for fucking me, dude. And I tear up. Even sometimes if I'm driving around listening to music and I hear some shit and it takes me back, like I'll fucking I'll get wet. Music makes me cry. But Avenged live, son, trash. Like I'll watch their videos on YouTube and shit, and it's cringe. Mainly the vocals. That's the beauty of a studio, is that you're all relaxed. You can do as many takes as it takes, and you can perfect it. And there's a production to it. You know, a lot of people will say they've seen a band and they were shit live. In the moment, I've never really experienced that, except for Misfits. Now, I had a band for like 10 years. Me, my brother, my other brother, my brother from another, Connor, and my brother Matthew, my hero. We had a band for 10 years. And we had the opportunity, because my father opened venues, right, that we ran together. And he'd put us in front of these bands. And well, eventually, we got to open up for Misfits, which is fucking crazy. But like, not 80s Misfits, not 90s Misfits, not 2000, 2010. It's just, you know, they played at the Knit, and it was trash, son. Like I know these songs, but the sound at the Knit is not good. Like, I just saw Tech Nine and Rich the other night. The sound was it's just trash. But if you're into it enough, it doesn't matter. But the Misfits sounded like shit. Super bass heavy. Like, they're trying to cover up for the fact that Jerry Only, their bass player, because they didn't have either one of their singers, like, he was just had whatever rights to the music, so he was able to tour the music. He couldn't sing those songs. It was garbage. Like, it was noticeably garbage. Like, a song would come on. Again, I know these songs. A song would come on, and I wouldn't even know it was the song. Usually it's like, you know the song right when it hits. I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm in it. It's this or it's that. But these cats were fucking not on point, son. Trash. So other than that, I've never really listened to a band and was like, this is just not good. Because again, if I'm there and I like, you meet my expectation. Just because I'm there and I'm hearing this music live, again, these people are here for me, for us. And expectations are everything. So back to my friend Derek, right? Who's gone forever. Died at the age of 28. Ironically enough, he was a drummer, an excellent drummer. So the drummer of Avenged, the Rev, excellent drummer, died at 28. My friend Derek, one of my best friends, probably my best friend, like, what do these words really mean? He was my fucking brother, dude. I love the kid. Still do. Whether he's here or not. Died basically the same way that the Rev died, which is really cryptic and fucked up. So I'm listening to Avenged on the way home. And every song reminds me of him, because this was our bond, brother. Like, I'll never have a friend like him again. Ever. I don't want another friend like him. Like, he's that's my guy. But we bonded over Avenged because we loved Avenged Sevenfold. And we would jam to them all the time and listen to them all the time. And it's funny, like, that brought us so much closer together. Bonding over one thing, like, just, like, I'll never meet anybody like him. In more ways than one, but particularly over Avenged. And so every song reminds me of the guy. Naturally. So let's get into Derek's life, right? This is the last kid that you would think would go out like this. Came from a Christian family. Great fucking family. Great fucking people. Just good fucking people. Welcomed me from day one. And so, drugs, man. I've done them all. That was the point, was to do them all. And when I say all of them, any drug that you can think of within the first, that you can list off, the first stack of 8 to 10 of them, I've done them all. But I've been fortunate enough to have survived it. Is there a price to pay for it? Fucking hell yeah, there is. Am I the same person because of them, as a result of the choices I've made? Nah. I'm not the same. I wonder who I would be without it all. And it hurts to think about it. And I feel the damage every day. I'm tired. I just don't get the joy out of life that I feel like I should. But Derek, man, he died because of the choices he was making. The particular choices he was making. The combination of choices that he made. It's no secret. When somebody dies that young, you gotta wonder, when it's not like an accident, like a car wreck or a certain health related incident. It's like, like what's going on here, So, not too long after he died and people started finding out, it's like people would message me because they knew that was my guy. Like they knew what time it was. They'd be like, yo, Derek, man, like what happened? I'm like, look, like it's not really my information to share. It's his family's. People feel like they're owed an answer. Like, what happened to this kid? He was 28. Naturally, they're going to think, whoa, what was he doing? He's making bad choices every day. There's certain substances you can't take together and last long. Those substances together were his choice. That was his bag at the time. And what breaks my heart the most, man, is that he never even got a chance to recover. It was just so quick. We're talking a few months. Drinking all the time. Popping this or that while drinking. You can't fucking do that, dude. You can't survive. Your heart, our body has a way of surviving all the beating that we put it through. And it can take a lot, but there's just certain things that it's not going to survive, man. And this certain combination was just that was his downfall, dog. And he never got a chance to get better. One night he was just fucking out, dude. Passed out in a homie of ours' bathroom. Done. Just went to sleep. Never woke up. And we would, a lot of Avenged songs are depressing, truth telling, soul bearing, drug related. Once you read between the lines, if you know, you know. That's the cryptic part, is like he would choose to listen to these songs with these titles and this content that basically predicted his future. We would jam, and we recorded a couple takes of the song called Tonight the World Dies. It's like he was trying to tell us all something. I don't know what he was going through, man. He never really told me. And if there was one person he would tell, it was this. It was me. See, when people really want help, they'll seek help. When they don't, they won't. It's the same idea as, when someone's crazy, when someone says they're crazy, they're not. When someone's in denial of their insanity, they're unaware. They don't know. When you don't want help, you're not going to look for it. He didn't want to be helped. This is I don't know, dude. In one breath, I want to say this is what he wanted. But I know how important his family was to him. So I'm battling between, is this what he wanted? And there's no way that this is what maybe he just, his soul wanted to rest, but there's no way he wanted to put his family through this. His family has to live with the fact that they'll never be able to see him again. They'll never be able to have a conversation with him. They'll never be able to even the petty things, to yell at him, to tell him how wrong he is, to tell him how they hurt him. They'll never be able to share any sort of moment with him again. He's dead. He's gone forever. And this family, dude, was like, the closest set of people I've ever met. And it would not be a stretch for me to say that he was the glue, man. He was a drummer. He jet skied professionally. He wakeboarded. He was fucking ill at everything he did. Naturally. And they're pretty well off. Lived on the lake. His dad did well for himself. He was the kind of cat that, how there's those people who have every opportunity in the world and are just super gifted. Well, there's the people who given every opportunity and they don't take advantage of it, and they're kind of handed everything, and you kind of feel a little bitter about it. There's a little bit of jealousy sprinkled in. It's like, God, this person has such a good life, and they'd nah, this wasn't him, dude. This kid had a great life, at least what it seemed, and was just fucking good at anything he would do. But you wouldn't be bitter at him. He was just such a fucking great person and had such an amazing family that you couldn't even be mad at it. You just be happy. I remember, for example, I had another friend who family is also pretty well off. Here's a perfect example. His dad played guitar, was a great guitarist, and bought him like a fucking nice Strat, a fucking awesome ruby red guitar. Got him like the dope setup, but like the kid didn't really care about playing guitar. So it's like, oh, like you got this fucking nice ass guitar, but like you don't even, like you have no real interest in playing or learning how to play. So it's kind of like you got like kind of a chip. It's like, oh great, you got this fucking dope setup because you can have it, but you don't take advantage of it. This dude took advantage of every opportunity that he had and excelled. And man, shit just got weird towards the end of his life, man. It got fucking weird. Because again, I knew his family. And dude was just falling off, man. And it was clear. It was clear, like, things were just going bad. Had no intentions of stopping what he was doing. And so, you know, I had his sister's number. Both of his sisters I was in some sort of contact with. And his mom. I worked for his dad for like a year. We both did. He worked for his dad for a number of years. And I worked for them for a little bit. So like there was a line of communication going on between me and them. In a sense, behind his back. Because they wanted to know things. Understandable. 100%. Completely understandable. Like, hey, what's going on? Or where is he? Or what's... And so it put me in a tough position. Because on one hand, like I'm trying to be a good friend to Derek. Like, yo, like I don't want to be like having this behind the scenes conversation with your family and your sisters that you don't know about. Yet I don't want to betray their trust and like let them know what's going on. Because I don't want to betray your trust, but like I don't want to betray their trust. So I'm like trying to balance, and it's not about me, but it was tough. Trying to balance like, well, how much do I give them? Because I can't fucking lie to them. But then how much do I say, hey bro, like they're asking me stuff. Like, what do I do? There's no right way to go about this. Either way I'm gonna fuck up. Like, I can't. And so at one point, within his whole stupor, which he probably didn't even fucking have any recollection of the last whatever chunk of his life, I just remember like a couple weeks before he died, I was like, yo, bro, like I can't do this. Like, I can't be hanging out with you, man, because for all I know, they think I'm getting you the stuff, which I wasn't. Like his drugs of choice were just not my bag. Yeah, we did them like a couple times because, well, there's no because, but like just because, you know, we would drink and I would, you know, do whatever. Pop pills with the kid or whatever. But it wasn't really my bag. My drugs of choice were different. I was like, yo, dude, like I can't do this, dude. Like I can't be juggling communication between you and your family and you. I was like, yo, dude, like until you get better and like shit cools down, like I was like, dude, I can't be hanging out with you, man. Like, and I asked him like, yo, dude, do not get me involved. If you're gonna make these choices, fine. I can't make you change. Someone who has an addiction or an abuse problem, you can't help them change. You can give them a place to stay. You can send them to treatment or rehab. You can, you know, all the textbook things. You can do those things. Don't get me wrong, but until a person wants to change, you're on the sidelines, man. And that's that's the saddest part about it. You can't do anything for anyone in their use or their addiction. Like you can't. When they're ready to change, they will. If they're not, they won't. It's that simple. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. This is going to be a long video. We're 30 in. I was like, yo, Holmes, like, this is not, I can't do this, man. You gotta, like, we can't be hanging out, dude. Like, and part of it was selfish. Like, I'm trying to save face with your family. Like, I don't want them to think I'm the bad guy, because I wasn't. I truly wasn't. I wasn't getting him shit. I wasn't getting him anything. On the contrary, brother, like, if we ever did anything together, it was because he brought it to me. And that's the funny thing is, like, in high school, like, me and my group of friends, which didn't include him because we kind of weren't friends in high school for a bit, for this reason that I'll explain. Like, I started doing drugs in high school. Freshman year, I tried mushrooms. It was fucking off to the races. Ecstasy, acid, salvia, whack. All of it. Coke, pills, oxys. Eventually got into fucking meth. All of it. Came from a Christian family, right? He was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, I don't, like, no, that's whack. Like, we weren't really, we had a chapter of time where we weren't really hanging out. I've always loved him, but we weren't really hanging out. And so it was like, yo, I can't, I don't want to be, don't suck me into this, dude, because I wasn't in it. And I've gone through my periods of sobriety. I tried getting sober before any of my friends. Tried, failed, failed, times 1,000. And I can't do this. Like, we can't be hanging out, man. It's too much. I'm trying to create some space between us. And I remember one time, him and his girlfriend at the time, we, not all together, had the same class, but we were taking the same poetry class in high school. And we would get, like, extra credit. The teacher owned the Empyrean Coffee House. She was the owner. And they would do poetry slams. And if you went to one of the poetry slams, you'd get extra credit. At first thought, the idea was like, yo, that's whack. I'm not going to some fucking ass poetry slam, which now thinking back is like, that's not that, like, that's kind of cool, whatever, but you get extra credit. So, like, we all, the three of us, him, his girlfriend at the time, we went. And I was like, if I'm gonna go, like, son, best believe I'm gonna be on mushrooms. Which was not a good idea. So on the way, I'm mowing down on this PB&J laced with mushrooms. Laid some mushrooms out in it. Like, this would be a fucking great idea, right? On paper. So we go to this poetry slam. In the midst of the poetry slam, the mushrooms start kicking in. So we're sitting in like the back row. Poetry slam's going on in front of us. There's like judges behind us judging the slam. And so when the attention would turn to the judges, everybody would turn around, right? To see what the judges were scoring, whoever just went up. And I'm sitting in the back frying. I probably had like half an eighth, which now wouldn't have the same effect on me as it did back then. So everybody, I'm frying. Everybody would turn around. I'm in the back row. I see a bunch of heads turning around, and I think everyone's staring at me. Super awkward. And like, I'm not turning around because I don't really care. Whether I'm frying or not, I don't really care about the score. I'm not just going to turn around just to follow the crowd. Like, I didn't care. So super fucking awkward. The whole and like, there were some people from school there trying to get the extra credit, like we all were. And I'd run into them, dog, and it was like, oh hey, like I'm super outgoing, you know, like. So like I remember just talking to people, like afterwards. They're like trying to chop it up and have a conversation. And I'm like, yo, this is not really the time. Like, I'm frying right now. I mean, they didn't know. They probably just thought, oh, dude, whatever. I was the drug doing kid in high school. I had a huge mohawk, Rasta mohawk. I was known as the smoking weed guy, which is funny enough because it's like, I was the kid doing drugs in high school, and then everyone else started doing drugs after high school. That's when it was cool. And it's like, yo, you're late to the party, son. Like, we've been doing this. I remember another time we went to go see Avenged at the Gorge. And we had this fucking bottle of vodka, I did, or something. We had tickets to the show. Avenged was headlining Pain in the Grass, 20 whatever. We had tickets, but we still snuck in. There was like gates, and we like climbed the gates. I'm wielding this fucking bottle of vodka like in my pants, in my fucking belt, in the waistline of my pants. Hop this fence. We had like, because the Gorge is like general admission, and you got like lawn seating up above it. That's what we had tickets for. But we climbed the fence, tickets in hand, vodka in hand, fucking partying, dude. Whenever I was back in the day, whenever I was at a show, it's like, yo, I'm getting to the front. We're gonna make a beeline. We're getting to the front, and we're gonna get this money, which we did. And I'm in there, snuck a bottle of vodka in, just chilling, fucking having a great time. I ended up with some chick's cowboy hat on top of my head, Daisy Duke in it. Fucking, dude, it was awesome. Derek's there with me. Our buddy Brett, his little brother Jake, the homie. Fucking great fucking time. Pretty much like, I've seen Avenged like 7 times. I was with Derek seeing Avenged 5 out of those 7. Awesome. Just some memories, you know. If you stuck through this long of the video, fucking thank you. I'm all over the place. I had like a cocktail that I fucked up at the bar before I got here. Before I left. I fucked it up. We had it in the fridge, so I chugged it after I clocked out. Legit. Now I'm drinking this Josh Sellers Merlot. Huh? I'm not drinking it. Derek was my best friend, man. I'm lucky enough that my drugs of choice weren't lethal. Could they have been? Sure. The likelihood, pretty fucking low. But I'm here, making this stupid fucking video that's 40 minutes long. Derek, not so lucky. Did he have a death wish? I don't know, dude. Did he want this for his family? Definitely not. But unfortunately for him, not him, he's resting now. But unfortunately for his family, the feeling that he liked cost him his life. There's just certain shit you can't play with, dude. And he played with fucking fire and he got burnt. And it breaks my heart, man. I remember too, like, cause I used to make music. I used to rap, or whatever. Yeah, and he was like my number one fan, dude. He loved my music. Because I was making it. I mean, he's the reason I got into recording. He's the reason I got a studio set up. He inspired me to do that. He built a studio in his parents' basement. Like a fucking studio. This was his life, dog. And I was like, yo, I want that. Because of him, I did that. I got in like the first relationship that I was ever in because of him. He told me, yo, like, why not just try it out? So I went for it. Like, this dude changed my life. It's those kind of people, for whatever reason, it's like they don't last long. The stars that burn the brightest burn out the quickest, the soonest. Dude was a bright star, man. Again, if you've lasted this long in the video, thank you. Subscribe, like it, comment. I'm just here kicking it, man. In the ice cream shirt. I miss my friend, dude. Sometimes, like, I don't really like hanging out with a lot of people. Sometimes when I got a day off and I want to hang out with someone, I run through the Rolodex in my mind. I'm like, well, who should I hit up to hang out with? It's a short Rolodex. Then I think to myself sometimes, I'm like, man, I wish I could just hang out with Derek, man. I just wish he was here to hang out with. Like, I would call him first. Even though, like, we'd hang out, like, he would be the one to call me. Let's go get a beer. Or let's just fucking get some food. Drive around. Just... Like, yeah, he would be the one. I just want to hang out with my friend again. And I can't. There's just this emptiness, like this void, where I wish I could just call my friend and hang out with him, you know? It's not about what you do with the people you love. It's just about being around them. and just drive around and listen to fucking Avenged. Because that's what we both loved. It's like I don't really talk to his family. It's just a weird air. Part of me feels like maybe they're smart enough to realize that he made his own decisions, but part of me deep down feels like maybe they not blame me, but they associate enough the fact that our friendship revolved around destructive behavior, which it wasn't all like that, but maybe they felt like I played a part, and this is just my thinking, maybe I played a role leading up to his death that I really didn't. And I mean, maybe I did. Unknowingly. Unwillingly. Of course I had an influence on him. But was I there when he died? No. Again, I didn't talk to him for 2 weeks leading up to his death. Because I cut him off. And I remember he was driving me home one day when I told him, yo, I can't do this, right? Or I don't remember exactly the timeline, but at one point, yeah, I told him I had to cut him off. And he was messaging me over Snapchat, looking for acid or some shit. Let's do acid or mushrooms. I'm like, yo, dude, do you remember any of the conversation? Remember when I told you that we can't, I got to keep my distance? He's like, no, didn't remember shit of it. I was like, well, this is what I told you, man, and I'm sticking to it. I can't help you destroy yourself anymore, or at all. And he was like, okay, I understand. He didn't remember any of it. I remember asking him too, on that same drive home, I said something along the lines of, do you want to stop? He's like, no. This is what he wanted to do, but this isn't the result that he wanted. I know deep down this is not what he wanted, was to just be gone. And so I have another friend, my brother Cole, whose younger brother took his own life. I think the same thing, is this what he wanted for his family? To suffer? No way. But did he realize that before he took his own life, that this is how his people would feel? And I think in that moment, it's not about them. It's about feeling something other than what you're feeling in the moment. And that's why people get high. That's why people do drugs. That's why people take their own lives, because they want to feel anything other than what they're feeling in the moment when they're sober or when whatever. If it has nothing to do with sobriety or drug use, it's People who take their own lives just want to feel something other than what they're feeling, because what they're feeling when they're alive is so painful that they just want it to end. They just want it to be over. And that weighs so heavy on their mind that that's all they're thinking about. Do they want their family to suffer? No. Do they want to just rest? Absolutely. That's what it comes down to. Have I felt that way? Yeah. I feel that way right fucking now. Sometimes I'm just exhausted. Not just emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I just want to fucking rest. And if there's one thing that I've learned from Derek and from Noah, my friend Cole's younger brother, is that there's no way I could do that. Anytime I wanted to end my own life due to my own self-induced suffering, I can't do that. I'm stuck here. I'm going nowhere. Whether I like it or not, I'm here. Whether I asked to be here or not, I'm fucking here. And I'm not going anywhere. As bad as I want to sometimes, there's no way I'm clocking out. You just have to survive, dude. No family deserves to go through what these families have gone through. I know that now. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to rest forever. Yes, right now. I sleep like shit. I'm exhausted mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I just want to rest, but I'm not going anywhere. I cannot do that to my family. They're far too important to me to leave. We're almost an hour in, and that's the one thing that I know and that I've learned from Derek and from Noah, is that I cannot go anywhere. I don't have the right to, as bad as it may sound, betray my family. And that's what this video is about. You cannot do that to your family. As bad as you may want to, a funeral for a kid in their fucking 20s is wrong. It's just fucking wrong. I went down to Salt Lake to visit my friend Cole for his brother's service. And I remember his uncle grandpa saying, vividly I remember this, saying, I don't understand any of this. A funeral for a 26-year-old kid makes no fucking sense. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? Burying a young kid. It makes no fucking sense. But it happens. Love your friends. Try to help them. All you can do is be there for them and listen to them. They're going to make their own decisions, though. And there's nothing you can do but be there for them and love them. But at the end of the day, they're going to do what they do. I'm good at listening. That's what I do. And if for some odd reason you need me to listen to you, I'm here. That's it.